Okay, this is the last assignment for this week. We're going to take just a quick detour from the plague of 1665 to talk about some important terminology for this unit. If you are on the PV Raider website, you will see on Unit 4, you will see where it's listed under number 7. It says endemic, epidemic, and pandemic roots of infectious disease transmission. If you'll click on that, you'll have some terminology, and I just wanted to kind of take a couple of minutes to kind of go through this information. You're going to be filling out a copy of that on your own there on Google Classroom so that you kind of commit this to memory. But I think that it's really important for you to understand these things, especially since we're currently in the middle of a legit pandemic, and what those words mean, because you're going to hear them. You're going to hear them on the news. You're going to see them on Facebook. So what these words mean. And so let's talk about them just briefly. Endemic is when a disease is present in a population of people or geographic region at consistent levels. That means that there are always levels of a disease in a population or in a geographic region all the time. So, for example, there is always malaria in tropical areas in South America and Africa. That's an endemic. That means that it's always present in the population at some level. But that level stays consistent over time. It's not like an outbreak per se, but there are always cases of that. We don't have as much of that kind of stuff here. Because number one, because of our healthcare situation, but the things that we always have in consistent level or consistent now would be like HIV. We have as an epidemic or an endemic. I'm sorry, and it is present in pretty consistent levels, and those can change over time. Obviously, we've had higher numbers of different things at different points, and that's when it becomes an epidemic. Okay, so an epidemic is when you have an outbreak that affects a higher number of individuals than normal. Okay, so at any given time. So for an example, the SARS outbreak in 2003, you had an increase in a disease, a higher number of individuals than normal at a given time. Okay, pandemic is what we're currently facing now. So that is an epidemic that occurs over a wide area, such as multiple continents or the entire world. We are currently in a pandemic. The Spanish flu was one, H1N1 Spanish flu, H2N2, the avian flu, H3N2. Influenza AIDS, or influenza A. I'm sorry, influenza A. The new strain of the H1N1 that hit in 2009 that caused about 150,000 to 500,000 deaths worldwide. And then currently, at one point in time, HIV/AIDS was a pandemic. Widespread across the world. It's not so much current. It's been a while since that's been a big thing. But now also COVID, which you'll look into a little bit deeper in another assignment. All right. The second part of this is about how disease transmits. So you basically have two types of disease transmission. You have horizontal and vertical. So horizontal means that it's spread through non-hereditary means. That's your bodily fluids, contact with blood, feces, semen, particles in the air, sputum, any kind of bodily fluid, contact by touch, contact through or via a transmission through the air, and that is something like the flu. Okay, that's spread through non-hereditary. That means it's not passed by birth or through hereditary means. Vertical means that it is going to come from your genes. It's spread genetically from parent to offspring. And there are a lot of things that vertical disease can transmit from parent to baby. So that can be HIV, hepatitis, that kind of thing. Okay. Then the three things that are down there below there, vector, vehicle, and fomite. Okay, those are things that help spread diseases horizontally. So a vector is any organism that can carry and transmit an infectious agent into another organism. Okay, so that's a mosquito, a tick, a flea, any kind of animal, like a zoonotic disease, monkeys, bats, those kinds of things. So any organism that can carry and transmit an infectious agent into another organism. Guess what? You can be a vector too, because you can carry and transmit an infectious agent into another organism as well. Okay, a vehicle is a specific type of fomite, which we're going to talk about in just a second, like water or food, that can carry a bacteria. So it's going to indirectly transmit an infectious agent. That can be food, water. A vehicle can also passively carry a pathogen or provide an environment in which the agent can grow. So like water sources that can become contaminated can also is passive until someone actually it comes in contact with it, drinks from it, that kind of thing. A fomite is a non-living object that transmits disease-causing pathogens. Y'all, fomites are everywhere. Those are your desk tops, your door handles, your toilet seats. Your anything really can be a fomite. Any non-living object that you can get a disease-causing pathogen from is a fomite. And remember, those are non-living objects, so those are things, not people. So surfaces, a dish sponge is a huge fomite, like on your countertop. It's wet. It's a great place for bacteria to grow, but a dish sponge can transmit diseases because it can live. Your pathogen can live on those surfaces for X amount of time, and all objects are different. The amount of time that a virus can live on a non-living object varies based on different factors, but those are things that you need to think about in terms that you'll probably hear quite frequently, or may have heard already frequently in the media. Okay, so you need to create a copy of this for yourself. I have connected it to your Google Classroom. And it needs to be submitted by that Thursday, the 14th date. Next week, the second week, that if we go into the next week, I'll post more virtually. I'll post more just like this week, where you'll have the 3 assignments that you will need to complete and submit in order to receive credit. I hope you guys are doing good. I miss having you in class, and I hope to see you soon, okay?